So like Groundhog Day, I'm using up these batteries while my rechargeables are charging. Will I ever get this story out about the pug's tail? If you live with kids or if you're an adult, it's a curly tail, and if you try to flatten it out and make it go curly again, eventually it won't curl up anymore. I learned that from somebody, but common sense says that anyway. So if you have pugs, if there's a pug that lives with kids, chances are, and if the pug has a curly tail, the kid's going to want to flatten it out and make it go curly, because that's what kids do, you know. But when Omar, his tail curls like 3 times almost, 2.5 times. It's a curly cute tail. Lots of pugs I've met don't still have that, and probably because they've lived with kids who have flattened out the tail one too many times, and now it won't curl anymore. And that's one of the trademarks of a pug, to have the curly tail. But when they're relaxed, their tail goes out, and that's fine. But if you have a pug and you try to flatten out that pug's tail yourself, eventually it won't curl anymore. So, anyway, that's a pug tale from me that I finally got through after like 6 videos. Right, Omar's? When he's completely relaxed, his tail goes out flat. You know what I mean? And that's fine. But if you do it manually, if you like to take the tail and get a curly cute tail and flatten it out to see it go curled again, and little kids would do that because that would fascinate them. Eventually the tail won't curl anymore. And then your pug has lost his trademark curly tail. And I have encountered pugs like that in my travels. And I've just about finished all those 1,000 or so old batteries I had from over the last couple of years, 2.5 years, 2 years. November of 12. No, 2.5 years. April of 12 to November 14. 2.5 years. All these worth of batteries. Remember, I had batteries even in the shelter. I created videos even while I was in the damn shelter for those 6.5 months. I just had to obviously create them outside or in public bathrooms, you know. Yeah, but mostly it was when I moved in with my mom and I had all these batteries because I didn't have rechargeables then. Interestingly enough, one of my YouTube people, you know, not an actual friend, but, you know, someone who watched my videos suggested, why don't you get rechargeables? I never thought about that. But then again, I had all that money, so I wasn't thinking along those lines, you know, of being frugal or whatnot. But when the chargeables, they have to charge for a long time, so I need backups, and I had all these batteries from before and whatnot, and like I said, a lot of them still had charge in them, because if I wanted to create videos and I didn't want to be interrupted, I knew I was creating something important that I knew what I was going to talk about, and I would just I would just have my package of batteries and get brand new batteries and throw the other ones in there, and, you know, some of them have lasted a long time. The last one I just used, the set lasted like 20 minutes, so that was 20 minutes worth of battery that I got, you know, to create a video. Now I'm just about done with all of them. I'm not sure how you're supposed to dispose of batteries. Can you just throw them away? A lot of them. There's probably 1,000 there. And now they are officially used up. Because I create a video and then when it stops working, that means the battery is completely dead, you know. The camera shuts off. That's my snoring baby. Like I said in other videos, I'm not going to give him up without a fight. I fought too hard to have him. I risked my life to, quote, steal, unquote, him from my abusive ex-boyfriend, Donald. And I can put it in quotations because Omar was not Donald's dog. tried to say before, actually, his mom tried to tell my mom that they have it in writing that I gave Omar to them. They never had anything in writing. They're full of shit. It's like most people. Too many people, anyway. Full of shit, liars, etc., etc. Lie to serve their own agenda. I had never signed over Omar to them. And then they could try to say, well, you said it verbally, whatever. No. It wouldn't hold up in court. You can't prove it. Besides, when I came back and you let me live with you, I just wanted you to give me one indication, just one, that you deserve to have Omar. You never did. God, hope would give him the fucking, to her, anything's better than giving him dry dog food because he doesn't like his dry dog food. Of course, because you spoil him rotten. Even cold cuts. Those cold cuts that are obscenely salty. You know what I mean? Cold cuts have an obscene amount of salt, and to her, just anything. You know? It's not the same thing. She equated it as if it's people food, it's people food. No. Me giving him nice chicken that you had promised me. She had actually promised me if they kept Omar whatnot, you know, even when I came to visit my mom and those months I was gone and whatnot, you know, that she would give him, she would continue with the mush, which is, you find that on Pugspot, they talk about that, the chicken, the brown rice, and it's supposed to be dark meat chicken, brown rice, and white meat chicken's too expensive anyway, most people, to give their dogs, but, and broccoli. No, broccoli was expensive too, so I gave him green beans, but still. I'm sorry, but my chicken, brown rice, and green beans that I painstakingly would make for him and put in little freezer bags because I realized that you were going to give him anything you could find.